Desafío Ruta 40 hits the heights on stage 3, heading to altitude on a loop around Belém. It's the kind of day where the rally can't be won, but it could well be lost. Strap yourselves in for another fast one. After two specials of over 300 kilometres, today's outing is a little bit shorter at 267k, but it's going to be anything but straightforward, with constant changes of pace, endless riverbeds and camel grass as far as the eye can see. The sun rising on an important stage in the bikes. It was another cold one, especially here at altitude, but things would soon be hotting up. There was another major abandon today in the shape of the defending world champion Sam Sunderland. The British rider wasn't feeling well this morning, and it got worse and worse to the point where he decided it was no longer safe to continue and stepped off the bike. It's a real blow for the two-time Dakar champion, who is yet to finish a rally this year.
It's a pity, especially for him, because the season been not easy for him. He had to retire in every race this year, so this will be also hard mentally to swallow. But it is what it is, and important that he's okay, he's safe, and we hope that he can recover and then come back stronger.
Well, speaking of days that are mentally hard to swallow, poor old Toby Price is still feeling the bitter disappointment of his mechanical woes yesterday. The Australian did have a better stage today for what it was worth, as he finished 5th, but he is a long way back in the overall standings. There are still plenty of kilometres to go, both here in Argentina and in Morocco, but Price reckons it's game over.
Disappointing with the championship. Pretty much gave that away, and it's done. But I'll hold on to 1% of it. Try and see what we can do by the last round in Morocco. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the chances are very, very, very slim at the moment. But we'll keep going.
Ross Branch had another solid outing on his hero, as he continues to get his head round riding in Argentina for the very first time. He admitted he needed about 50 kilometres today to adapt to the altitude, saying he could feel the impact on his power and his breathing. Other than that though, it was an awesome day. Branch surviving the hidden stones in the riverbeds as he finished in 4th place. It was a frustrating day for Ricky Brabeck on his Honda. The American was actually the fastest man out there, but the time bonuses for the riders ahead of him meant that he had to settle for 3rd place and actually lost time in the overall standings. Brabeck admitted that the tracks in this part of the world are quicker than he remembered. The former Dakar winner currently leads the fight for the final podium spot. Meanwhile, the fight for victory is looking increasingly like a two-horse race between Luciano Benavides and Tosha Shirena. Benavides is in a curious position where he wants to go all in to take overall victory here on home soil, but he doesn't want to risk losing points in the World Rally Raid Championship. It was a smooth run today either way, in spite of a sore wrist at the end. His deficit is now 6 minutes and 23 seconds. But it's still Shirena leading the way after he did another excellent job opening today. The Spaniard adding 6 more minutes of bonus time to his growing haul. Now Shirena isn't taking part in the World Championship, but he's now won 3 stages in a row at this Desafío Ruta 40, and he is just 2 days away from landing his first major overall victory in Rally Raid.
Really good day. I have had a few mistakes with my navigation, but yeah, another good day at the office, another stage win. I think today the bonus helped me, but yeah, this is the race, and so happy with the views of the stage, so beautiful. Yeah.
Chirena and Benavides have a pretty sizable cushion over the rest, but it's very close in the scrap for third, only a few minutes separating Brebeck, Branch and Van Beveren. Benavides is looking comfortable in the W2RC with a 15-minute lead, so will he try to chase down Chirena or play it safe? It was a dramatic day in Rally 2 as the W2RC leader Paolo Lucci was forced to abandon. The Italian had arrived in Argentina with a 3-point advantage in the championship, but he crashed heavily yesterday and he wasn't able to take the start this morning. His loss could well be Romain Dumontier's gain. The Frenchman has a golden opportunity to seize the W2RC lead, provided he makes it through to Salta on Friday. After a penalty for an early engine change, he's running fourth in the class. Meanwhile, Mike Doherty is over 6 hours back in 7th, having incurred some big penalties yesterday. He failed to finish the stage after ripping off his fuel pump connector. But the South African showed his turn of pace today, winning by 1 minute and 25 seconds from the overall leader in Rally 2, Bradley Cox.
Yeah, I mean, started at the back today, so it was a bit difficult in the morning with riding with a lot of dust. But once I cleared a few riders, then the stage turned out to be a little bit more fun and very fast and tricky navigation. But overall, it was a good day. Nice to come out with a win in the Rally 2.
Marcelo Medeiros is happy to be here in Argentina, taking on some of the best quad riders in the world, notably Dakar winner Manuel Andujar. The Brazilian was on course for victory today after catching Andujar and Francisco Moreno, but he got stuck in a hole towards the end and eventually missed out by just 52 seconds. Well, that meant the victory went to the Argentine, but it was anything but straightforward. Andujar had problems with his shock absorbers early on and he was leaking oil, so he was expecting a much worse outcome. But after pushing later in the day, he got the win and he increases his overall advantage.
I had the problem before the start, so I thought that the stage will be something really bad for me, but I could push a little forward into the stage, on the dunes, on the fast tracks. So I think it was really good for me today.
Andujar is now 14 minutes clear, but just look at the difference between second and third, a solitary second separating Moreno and Medeiros. Andujar is cruising to victory in the World Championship, with his nearest challengers trailing by hours rather than minutes. More success for Argentina in the quads then, but their fortunes were slightly more mixed in the cars. It was a very bad day in particular for Sebastian Halpern. A two-time winner of this rally, the man from Mendoza was getting maximum support from the fans out on the track before he was let down by his Mini. The crew of 202 hurtling along when they noticed a problem with the gearbox, and a serious one at that. In the end, they had to take the car out of the special and hope the mechanics could patch it up back at the bivouac. But Halpern was looking on the bright side. Well, in spite of this unfortunate incident and breaking the input shaft, it actually happened around 100 meters from the place where my friends from Mendoza were standing. So, as accidents go, this was a pretty fortunate one. Well, when last seen, Halpern was preparing to fire up the barbecue with his pals. In the meantime, his compatriot Juan Cruz Jacopini was getting a first taste of opening the piste after his brilliant stage victory yesterday. With fewer lines to follow, he and Dani Oliveras didn't quite have the same pace, but it was still a trouble-free day as they finished in third place. It was also a much smoother outing for Yazid Al-Raji after his litany of punctures yesterday. The Saudi and his co-driver Timo Gottschalk put around 10 minutes into Jacopini. That meant that they closed the gap on second place overall. They didn't quite have enough in the tank, however, to secure the stage honours. Al-Raji just 1 minute and 41 seconds off the pace. But the victory went to that man Nasser Al-Attiyah, who also had a much cleaner run after his 5 punctures on stage 2. His co-driver Mathieu Baumel pointed out that it was similar terrain to yesterday, sandy tracks and pistes through the camel grass. They simply did a better job of navigating their way through the wilderness. Al-Attiyah opening up a slightly bigger gap overall. He is now 11.5 minutes clear of Jacopini.
Yeah, it was really interesting stage today. Short is not long, but it's very heavy for driver and for car. And yeah, we are quite happy to win today.
Eugenio Amos and Denis Krotov both lost around 17 minutes today in 4th and 5th, but the Italian is in much better shape overall, within striking distance of the top 3. It looks like Al-Attiyah, Jacopini and Al-Raji will be the top 3 in the W2RC, but in what order? In the T3s, there was a very short spin for yesterday's stage winner Matthias Ekstrom, who quickly had Al-Attiyah on his tail. After just 28 kilometres, he and Emmy Bergqvist damaged their front differential, and instead of trying to limp their way through the stage in 2-wheel drive, they decided to return to the bivouac and give the mechanics time to fix up the car for tomorrow. Ekstrom disappointed, but the glass remains half full.
For sure, for tomorrow, we will not have a brilliant starting positions. We will be probably a bit more in the back, but we will do the best we can tomorrow and then fight our way up the field and then go for it again on the last day.
We haven't seen too much of João Ferreira so far. The Portuguese driver had gearbox problems on stage 1 and then spent most of stage 2 in the dust after starting right at the back. A much better ride today in the X-Raid Yamaha as he grabbed 3rd place. Ferreira is out of the running overall, but he's happy to be back at the front tomorrow and he'll be eyeing up a stage win on Thursday or Friday. Austin Jones is another man who's been a little off the pace due to a mysterious electrical issue with his Red Bull Can-Am. Rather unhelpfully, their car keeps switching itself off, but he is convinced that the mechanics will get to the bottom of it. The American is slightly on the back foot in the W2RC, with Seth Quintero now leading the championship and better placed overall, but Jones did at least manage 2nd place today. But once again, Mitch Guthrie saw off all comers to land his 2nd stage win in 3 days. The overall leader was actually expecting the day to be harder, but he had a super clean run and took the victory by just under 2 minutes from Jones. Guthrie and Kellen Walsh have really built up a head of steam since winning the Sonora Rally in April, and their current momentum has got them right in contention for the W2RC crown.
We're happy. It's been a really good rally so far. So stage win today, 3rd place yesterday and 1st place in the first stage. So leading the overall, trying to extend that, make no mistakes, but still a long stage tomorrow, and then another stage for stage 5. So it's going to be a long rally still, but we're trying to keep the lead.
Guthrie leads by 7.5 minutes from Quintero and Nicolas Cavigliasso, who are separated by just 5 seconds. Cristina Gutierrez and David Zille make up the top 5. Cavigliasso isn't part of the W2RC, so Jones sneaks into the top 5. It's all change in the T4s after Edouard Ponce was forced to abandon today's stage. The Spaniard had been cruising along nicely with 2 stage wins from 2, but he misjudged a dune and broke his steering column, and that was that. It's a big blow for the Spanish rider, who incurred heavy penalties for his withdrawal and lost any chance of overall victory. Well, that means we have a new leader in Gustavo Gallego, a man who is, lest we forget, taking part in his very first rally in a car. The former quad star has decided to adopt a conservative approach with his co-driver Eugenio Arrieta, and it's paying off. Gallego described this as a classic Belen stage, lots of camel grass, riverbeds and stones, but they survived a demanding day to go top of the pile. The overall picture now looks very different, with Gallego leading Shinsuke Umeda by more than an hour and a half. Ponce is over 19 hours off the pace. Umeda thanked Jeremias Gonzalez for some mechanical assistance as he got through safely. He remains on course for maximum points in the W2RC. As ever, officials from the FIM and FIA were on hand to present the day's stage winners with their medals. The W2RC has quickly become an integral part of the rally-raid scene, and everyone's getting something out of it. From multiple Dakar winners like Nasser Al-Attiyah to newcomers in Rally 3 such as Mauricio Cueva.
The Rally 3 is a pretty good category. I did a Morocco rally last year. We have a limitations between the Rally 2, but it's a good bike. It's a good category for the people that try to get into the rally ride.
3 stages down, 2 to go, and slowly but surely we're getting to the business end of this Desafío Ruta 40. Stage 4 is slated to be the hardest of the bunch, so don't miss it. Join us tomorrow, and thanks for watching.